Hello everyone. We're going to take a look at converting mixed numbers to improper fractions and improper fractions back into mixed numbers today. This is Unit 2.7a at WAMAP, and these are our problems. We're going to convert 7 1/3 into an improper fraction, and we're going to convert 13/4 into a mixed number. Let's take a look at how those look. So 7 1/3, if we think about what this fraction means, we have 1/3 is the unit we're using. So we have 7 whole units, 7 whole pieces that are divided into 3. And then we've got 1/3 left over. So 7 whole units plus 1/3 more. So if we wanted to count up how many thirds we had, we could count up 3 for each of the 7 whole pieces, and add the one remaining piece. And that's basically what we do. We're going to multiply the number of whole pieces by the unit size. So we have 3 times 7. And then we're going to add, that's not very good. We're going to add the remainder, which is this 1. And so we're going to get 3 times 7, which is 21, plus 1 more is 22 over 3. These are equivalent statements. So usually when we have an improper fraction, when the numerator, the top number, is bigger than the denominator, the bottom number, we divide the denominator into the numerator. So 3 goes into 22, and you can write it this way. 3 goes into 22. Won't go into 2, right? 0 times evenly, so goes into 22 7 times for 21 with a remainder of 1. Now, if you were converting this number to a decimal, you could add a decimal point here and zeros and keep going. But when we convert an improper fraction into a mixed number, we just go until we're done with the number we're looking at. And this remainder tells us how many odd pieces there are. So we had 7 whole units divided into thirds, and then we have 1 odd piece left over. So we just take the whole unit, how many are left over, and how many pieces were left over. That was the 1, and then this 3 is our unit. So 7 1/3. So this converts back to 7 1/3. If you wanted to go and make this a decimal, we can do that. I'll just show you. Let's see, I think I'll show you. Okay, so we had one remainder here. So if we bring down a 0, we can divide 3 into 10. That goes 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. We get 1. We bring down another 0. 3 goes into 10. 3 goes into 10. 3 times again. And 3 times 3 is 9, leaving 1. So this kind of fraction, 3 goes into 10 3 times. So we'll put a 3 up there on top over our last 0. And then 3 times 3 is 9. So this is going to go on forever. We can write this decimal as 7.3 repetend. So it has the line over the 3, and that means that 3 continues on forever. Anyway, this is the decimal equivalent of this fraction. So you can see how they're all related now. So here we have the original fraction. We convert it by multiplying the number of whole units by the size, and then we add the remainder, which is this 1. And we got 22 thirds. So improper fraction, we can convert that to a mixed number, or we can convert it by just extending the process. We can convert it into a decimal. So those are kind of similar. Those are related processes. Let's take a look at 13/4. We'll do the same thing here. Let's do 13 divided by 4. Let's get a mixed number, and then we'll do, we'll get a different color and we'll turn it into a decimal. So 4 goes into 13 3 times. It will give us 12 and 1 left over, right? So our fraction, or mixed number, becomes 3 1/4. So these are equal, 3 1/4, right? So you've got 3 whole units and 1 odd quarter. So sometimes it's easy to think of these as like money. If you had 13 quarters, how much would you have? So let's do a decimal conversion and see if that makes it any more clear. So we're going to start the same way. We're going to divide 4 into 13. 4 goes into 13 3 times, gives us 12 with 1 left over. And now, instead of turning it into a fraction, we're going to put a decimal point here after the 13 and add a few zeros. And we're going to move that decimal point up on the line right above it. We'll extend this line over our zeros. So we bring down the first zero, we have a 10. 4 goes into 10 how many times? 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And 8 from 10 is 2. Let's bring down the next 0. 4 goes into 20 how many times? 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. And now we have 0 remainder. So, in answer to your question, if you had 30, or to the question, if you have 13 quarters, that's going to be equal to $3.25. So sometimes if you can figure a money angle, it helps you to understand the math, because we use money all the time. Well, less and less now, but we're thinking about money all the time. So give these problems a try and see how you do. And if you get stuck, give me a call and we'll work together.